We're back with our championship match here. Riga Kalfas trying to unseat our two-time champ Glen Meece. Riga's going to get us started off here on the left lane. He has been hot today, posting some pretty good numbers.
I think he has over 500 for 2 games, doesn't he? 507.
Starts this one off right with a strike.
That's the way to do it. If you're going to unseat a king, you want to issue a challenge on your very first delivery, and that he does.
There you're looking at Mr. Joe Minster. Does such a fine job writing for the Hamilton Journal.
Glen Meece going to try to answer that strike.
Somebody ought to answer the phone.
Yeah, I hear that.
A little wide, going with the shot on the opening delivery, leaving the 2-pin. A very easy spare. One thing he did not want to do was run high, and he went with his instincts and trusted the ball. There you see it. That's the 2-pin sitting there all by itself.
Yes, indeed.
Got all kinds of room to make this spare.
He used a good bit of that room on that one.
That big turning ball, once it gets out of your hand, sometimes if you see it going in the wrong direction, you just wish you had a string on it to pull it back. Riga, deep, deep in thought. Bowling about as well as anyone can bowl today. If it's going to happen, it should happen today. There's only one thing stands in his way.
Oh, almost got a nice little break out of that one.
That's the good news, bad news scenario again, George. The 4-9 you almost saw is a bad break. The fact that you kicked the 4 out, that's the good news. So Glen Meece going to be shooting another easy spare, the 9-pin, back row. You want to move your feet maybe 3 boards to the left of your normal strike target and hit your same striking area, maybe 4, and just go for it like that.
Glen Meece with a couple of spares up, and Riga Kalfas working on the strike in the first. 507 through the first 2 games for this young man.
Riga last year was king, I think, about 6 weeks in a row. No, it was 8 times in a row in '88. It's a good year for Riga.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Riga.
A double to start this one off.
Let's take a look at his eyes, and his eyes tell the story before the ball's even thrown. Look down at that target. Don't take them off the target until the ball is gone. Then you can be an observer and watch the 1-2 become history. Kalfas, a double through 2. Meece, spare, spare. A lot of paper left, but Riga looks great.
In the third, crossing over a little bit.
If we're going to see a mistake out of Riga, my bet is it's going to be on the left lane each and every time. It appears to be the more difficult of the 2 for the left-handers. Cutting through sharply, breaking up the split, but there you see, leaving the 2-4-7. We've told you how to make this one. How do you make it, George? Huh? Were you paying attention?
Yes, I was.
Hit them all with a ball, right?
There you go. I'll take right through the 2 and the 4. Well, we'll take it that way. How about that?
Unconventional, but spareable anyway.
Yeah, there you see. Yeah. I made a mistake twice, got away with it, and made the spare.
But George told me to do it that way.
Hey, if he listened to my bowling tips, the guy wouldn't have been here in the first place.
Glen with a couple of spares. Yet to strike in this match.
If anything should pump him up, it'll be the last shot of Riga Kalfas, and it did. It did. Take a look at it. Your seemingly perfect opponent makes a mistake. What are you going to do? We got to get this one. Yeah, take it out of here. There you see it. Meece trailing, but with a very, very important strike up, can cut the deficit back once more. He's re-racking on the left lane. Again, if he sees a pin off spot, you are allowed to do that. New ball that he drilled up last week and won last week's show with. Still appears to be doing a fairly decent job this week.
So's the batting glove.
The batting glove is back. Let's see if his strike comes back. He tugged that ball.
Oh, right.
He tugged the heck out of that ball, and I'll tell you what, bad shot, maximum reward. All we can say is thank you. Take a look at it. We show you the good ones. We'll show you a lousy one, too. He knows it's high. Head pin straight back. 2 and the 3 go to their respective sides. We're looking at a 10 pin. We are looking at a strike.
Come on, Riga. All right.
We're looking at another strike by Riga Kalfas here in the 4th.
Riga gets right back on the strike train. However, if both players take it off the sheet, Glen Meece at this point, 2 pins in the lead. We've got a 2-pin match. We're halfway through game number 3, and we are seeing a bowling clinic.
Riga now up in the 5th, back on that left lane.
Going with a little more arc. Went with a little more arc on that particular shot, George. And what I mean by more arc is he sent the ball wider. In other words, if he's looking at 7, that ball hit 5, and it changes the arc, and didn't quite do what he expected it to do since he went high last frame. But again, getting out pretty easy with a single pin spare.
I'd like to thank you all for entering Bowl Down Cancer. We had a fabulous year. The finals will be coming up. The ladies will be at Fairfield Lanes, the men at LaRue, and the youths at Coleraine Bowl. Thank you once again.
Well, Riga holds the spare, so by no means is he falling apart under the pressure applied by this man, Glen Meece, who is currently working on a double here in the 5th frame.
Well, we might add, too, that if Glen Meece goes on to win, either way, we're going to see him next week, because if he doesn't win, he'll be back as a challenger from our high qualifier at the Pin House. And if he does win, of course, he'll be at the top of the hill. That ball is a watch.
Oh,
At the top of the hill.
a couple of wiggles, a couple of taps, and
The kind of shot Glen Meece expects to carry. Watch it on the replay. The big cranker, the torquer, expects this shot when he throws it like this. He knows it's in the area. Head pin goes to the wall. That's the head pin coming across, and then ordinarily it would have taken the 10 out, but there's a little blocker laying there. Changes balls. Cross lane for the spare.
got it. He doesn't show any mercy on those pins when he goes after them on the spares.
Again, the highest miles per average guy that we've had on the show in a long time. Glen Meece just rears back and lets it fly. The only other guy that I can remember that threw with this velocity was John Gant, and John Gant has since moved out of the city. For those of you that wonder why you haven't seen him for the last several years on the show, he is no longer around here.
Glen Meece working on a 1-pin lead.
That's perfection. That's perfection. That's what you want to see. Watch it here. You've seen his buddies in the back pumping him up, and you're going to see a stone cold perfect strike. 1-3 pocket. Perfect amount of deflection. 8 pins the last one out, but there was no doubt about it.
There's Glen on his perch, looking for Riga to answer the call. Near disaster.
A great break for Riga on the lane that he's been targeted. Watch it on the replay. The ball cuts through sharply right here. You're going to see on the left side of your screen for a moment the 7, and then the 8 actually takes it out, leaving the 6-10 for him to shoot at. A very, very makeable spare for Riga Kalfas.
Hammers it.
A close match. You wanted it. We've got it for you. 3 pins. Glen Meece in the lead, but the big infamous strike in the 6th. Riga Kalfas. Not going to fold under the pressure. He's looking up at the score sheet, just trying to get a good feel for where he's at, but he knows that from here on out, he needs to strike.
3 pins difference, but of course Glen does have that strike advantage.
The 8 pin.
Left-hand lane again. You know, he's trying different things on the left-hand lane to work, and he's right in between. One ball's a little high, the other ball goes a little longer. A wiggling 8 at that, George. You called it. That's a nasty boy.
Riga looking to cover here in the 7th. He does easily. So Glen Meece with a chance to get some breathing room here. He had the 1 pin lead, then the 3 pin lead.
And now with the strike up, George, a big, big frame for Glen Meece. If he puts the pressure on him now, he shouldn't relax, but it's a nicer cushion.
I don't think you can relax with the way Mr. Kalfas has been bowling today.
Not at all. Let's see if he goes for it. Yep. You can watch the animation and knowing the importance of this strike. Let's watch this release, and it is torque, torque. You got a torque wrench? Measure this one, will you? Here he goes. The strike the cranker wants to carry, and that's when he's maxed out. When he is maxed out, he is great. And that was a great shot. Again, the left-hand lane, re-racking, seeing some pin off spot that he doesn't like. Or perhaps just buying a little extra time to get his thoughts together.
There's the Bettinghouse brothers. Jerry on the left, Dan on the right. Of course, this is our Eastgate qualifiers. Glen, of course, been champion 2 weeks in a row, working on number 3.
A double working. This is his 8th frame. This could be a triple, a put away. No such thing as a put away, but I'll tell you what. This man, when he has needed to strike, he has struck with authority. Take a look at this. This is for the triple. This is for a 20-some pin lead. And how's he throw it? A pitcher is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Like a rock star.
Wow. I feel good.
I knew that was coming. Riga also on the right-hand lane, lane 12, that he's had tuned in for quite some time. Throws a great, great shot. Here it is, the critical 9th frame coming up, George, on the lane that, if we called it before, if he's going to have a problem, it would be on the left lane. That has proven to be the fact thus far. Can he solve it for the all-important 9th frame and a double?
He really needs to now, with Glen Meece, our current king, working on a 3-bagger and looking strong at this point. Glen on the familiar perch knows what this shot's all about.
Going to a ball change. Let's see if it's a good change. You bet. You bet. I tell you, look at him shooting himself. Don't do that, Riga. He made a change in his equipment to compensate for the difference on the lane. Great, great. I mean, that's years of competition that teaches you to do that in a critical situation.
He can only hope that he didn't make the change too late.
Well, his motion there with the cocked finger to the forehead, oh no, don't do it, indicates that he feels he did make the change too late, which tells me that he feels that his competitor, Glen Meece, will answer the call one more time.
Glen Meece can close it out with a 258 if he goes all the way here in the 9th and 10th. Riga can finish with a 234. So we're not out of here yet. The solid 7.
That would have been what could have been the put-away shot, but not the case. The 7-pin stands in the way. Watch it here. He goes with a little more speed, a little wider, trusting his game the way he should, but the 5-pin gets blocked out. The 4-pin does not have enough on it to take the 7 out.
He was giving it a little Don Scudder shuffle over there. Did you see that?
He was. I give the ball about a 5 and the move a 7, you know.
Again, he hammers away at the single pin.
We've got all kinds of possibilities here. Don't get up to go to the fridge yet, you guys. Riga Kalfas could take it off the sheet for 244. The best Glen Meece can do if he strikes would be 237.
Well, Glen Meece getting his act together here in the 10th frame, taking his time.
Well, he wants that 237, and he wants it big time, and to get there, he has got to throw the first one in the 10th.
Going for another reset here, which is about the 3rd time this game, I believe.
And look at him talking to himself. I can't read these lips.
May not want to.
But they are telling him to make a good shot as his opponent stares away.
Oh.
A great shot. Again, not quite trusting it. In the 9th frame, he leaves it wide. This one, he tries to jam it in the hole. Take a look. Pulls it inside of his target, but his speed holds the ball out just long enough to almost strike stone 9. Riga Kalfas is now in the driver's seat with the double working. A must spare for Glen Meece. No problem.
No, he's looking to close this thing out now. In the 10th frame. He's working on a 226.
Count is going to be critical. 226 is Glen's potential if he strikes.
Our stat man, Ron Millenor, once again burning a lot of lead here with the pencil.
Riga Kalfas potential 234 with a double. The count not good.
Boy. A disastrous 9th and 10th frame. And you're going against a guy as hot as Riga Kalfas.
It's definitely got to have the first one.
Glen Meece closing out with a 222. It's out of his hands now.
No, I'm telling you, 9, unless my calculations are wrong, 9 spare strike. Riga can still win this game. Anything other than a good shot here is not acceptable. But
Ooh, 8.
oh my, there you see him looking over saying, what in the world do I have to do here after bowling so eloquently the first 2 games and then coming back and struggling here in the championship match against Glen Meece. Riga Kalfas really put on a bowling clinic for us today, though. However, he's got nothing to be ashamed of. Excellent player. The hot hand in town right now.
Staring intently at the scoreboard.
We have conflicting scores.
We do.
We've got 3 scoreboards going, and all 3 of them tell us something different.
Look out. Wow.
6 deliveries, 6 strikes. I like it. Lock it up, and he does that time. That was only